Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share our videos with a couple of friends and colleagues. Definitely helps the channel a lot. Now let's talk about a one that's a little more niche from Paul Thomas Anderson, his new film releasing in September of this year, One Battle After Another. Recently watched this trailer and I really did like it. Very interested in where this film is going, and this might be a film that will be a wild card for me going into early fall. Let's read into some other things though regarding this film from WOR. One Battle After Another, Warner Brothers and Paul Thomas Anderson fighting over final cut. Things are looking so grim over at Warner Brothers that you're starting to see reports about David Zaslav leaning to make co-CEO of DC Studios Peter Safran the new head of Warner's, replacing Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdy. A bombshell Variety report tackles the troubles brewing over at Warner Brothers, including those DeLuca and Abdy rumors, but more pertinently is the internal chaos that Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another has been causing. A top source that's said to be very familiar with One Battle After Another confirmed that the film had been tested in at least 3 markets in recent months, and that was actually 4 markets in recent months. Regardless, it sounds like Warner's is absolutely puzzled by this film. This is a quote. A consistent note came up. Audiences struggled to root for any of the characters, bringing up the age-old question about likability in commercial films. DiCaprio has been praised for a quirky performance, according to the testing. A character played by Benicio del Toro scored highest of all. And last, a character by Sean Penn also indexing high. Sources inside Warner Brothers tell Variety that Anderson agreed to audience testing, given the high budget of the film, $140 million. The same source also suggested DeLuca and Anderson were fighting over the final cut of the film, which is running over 2.5 hours. Another source added that Anderson voluntarily trimmed between 8 to 10 minutes from One Battle. After early screening feedback memo to Variety, it's actually more like 20 minutes has been cut. The first cut, which screened in January, ran 2 hours and 50 minutes, and this past week in Dallas, it was down to around 2 hours and 30 minutes. The report goes on to state that to break even, the film would need to gross at least $260 million worldwide. PTA's most successful film, There Will Be Blood, only managed to make $76 million worldwide. Sure, this latest one has Leonardo DiCaprio and is baking on a splashy rollout in IMAX, no less, but it's turned into the definition of a risk for Abdy and Luca. Listen, I don't blame Warner Brothers for freaking out over PTA's very pricey film. They're coming off 2 consecutive bombs, Mickey 17 and Alto Nights. But when you give an eccentric filmmaker like Paul Thomas Anderson $140 million to write and direct a Thomas Fincone adaptation, and I hope I didn't butcher that name, then you get what you pay for. And I do have to agree with that sentiment there. And to piggyback on this information as far as There Will Be Blood, the film had a budget of $25 million and it grossed $76 million. So not a crazy box office. It is a 3X. It is a success. And obviously the film has been highly rewarded, but nothing that's going to make your eyes pop out of your head as far as numbers and box office achievements there. When I was watching this trailer and getting the vibe of a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson's work, it does strike me as a vibe that is extremely indie when it comes to aesthetics, but at the highest quality. So very interesting overall. Like I said, did like the trailer. I'm going to link the trailer down in the description. Please feel free to watch that. I believe the film is coming out in September, and we'll talk more about it as we get closer to the release date of this film. With that being said, ladies and gents, subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Let them know to subscribe as well. Ring the bell for notifications, and as always, be safe. It's Neff signing off.